here. Today I'm going to be providing a brief overview of the information I've been getting as I delve into this case study. The benefit I have of this case study is this is an actual event that I was part of. It's actually still being resolved. So for the purpose of this presentation and the paper, I will be using fake names and fake project titles for this project. Just in general overview, and a quick bit of information regarding how we got to this point. This is involving the sediment discharge from a construction site into a protected DNR lake. Now, this project started in May. It was slated to start in March, and different events kept pushing it back. However, our final turnover date did not change. So in an attempt to push that turnover date forward and be able to hit the ground running, my company itself and I specifically brought out the NPDES permit and got that in my name, so as soon as we had a grading contractor on board, we could tell them to go. But the understanding was in the contract we wrote was that the grading contractor would install and maintain all SWIP items on the job site. About halfway through the project at this point, the foreman for the grading company was laid off and a new foreman came in, and there was a miscommunication at some point where he no longer maintained the SWIP and no longer handled keeping the job site buttoned up and preventing any sediment from rainwater leaving the job. So fast forward then to October 12th of this year, I had the joy of walking into my trailer to meet up with the MPCA. They were out to do a routine inspection, so I, of course, offered to walk with. During the routine inspection, we discovered an area that had blown out. There were no BMPs in place, and looking further into it, we found that sediment had tracked into a conservation easement and ultimately led to the lake. There were a number of other minor issues, but this was really the main finding of the MPCA investigation. So we received a notice that we had to correct it, and we had to work with the city and the DNR. The city was responsible for the conservation easement, and the DNR responsible for the lake. The city instructed us that we were okay to remove the buckthorn within the area, and then actually physically remove the sediment from the conservation easement. There was some discussion about simply blanketing and reseeding over the sediment to stabilize the ground. And the DNR instructed us to actually get up close to the lake and scoop out the sediment that had been in the lake. Fortunately, it was still contained within a small area, so we were able to do that. Now, due to the type of lake it was and the fact that it's protected, we still have not received any official notice of a fine. However, speaking with the MPCA, they do believe that there will be a financial penalty to this, so we will have to pay a fine. Really, I guess the guts of this comes down to discussing who's responsible for paying the fine and the lessons learned from this issue. If you ask me, I would say that ultimately there were two people involved that led to this blowout, three if you count myself, but those BMPs were actually removed so that a retaining wall could be built. There was a retaining wall shown on the drawings that was far too close to the conservation easement, and so they had to remove the BMPs to make that happen. So I believe the retaining wall installer is partially at fault, as well as the excavation company that was responsible for the SWIP via their contract, even though the foreman was not aware of that at the time. So lessons learned on this, just to avoid, and excuse the pun, muddying the waters again, I am going to avoid taking out an NPDES permit in my name again and simply leaving that up to the excavation company once we get them on board. This is simply a case of just having too many parties involved and too many players in the game. So by kind of taking myself out of the picture and delegating all of that responsibility rather than just part of that responsibility, I believe that a situation like this could be avoided again. Thank you.